Hello everyone and welcome to a new video on my channel. I'm Adam and today I'm going to be doing the same video that I did just now. That has been uploaded last on my channel, which is ranking the books from Beast Quest of each series. But instead of the first book from each series, it is actually the final book of each series, the series finales. And let me just say, the finales are a lot better than the starters, because you build up the whole story, you need to have a good end, right? And yeah, let's get into this. Please bear in mind, this list is my opinion, so if your opinion is different, please in the comments below which finale is your favourite. But for me, I already have my list set. And with that, let's get into this. Starting with 31st place, which is Canis the Shadowhound of Series 16. Now, what makes Canis, in my opinion, the worst finale to all the Beast Quest is actually because he really doesn't have anything. They don't really have anything going for it. And I think it's a he. The design is okay, but a bit boring as well. The abilities are what you'd expect, and thus makes it boring as well. And the fight also isn't really that entertaining. So, yes, again, boring. Canis is just a boring beast, in my opinion, and there's nothing really redeemable about this beast. Moving on. In 30th place, we have Series 10's Doomskull, the King of Fear. Now, this is probably the first controversial pick I have on this list already, and we just started this list. But what makes Doomskull, in my opinion, a not great finale is that I expected so much more. Series 10, beast-wise and book-wise, has been built up to start off kind of tame, but build up to these incredibly high stakes with fantastic result, only for this beast to be a bit disappointing. Story-wise, it ends great, but beast-wise, I don't know. Doomskull doesn't have that, has an alright design, but the abilities are boring and forgettable, and the fight isn't really that noteworthy either, because it focuses more on Tom versus Malvel. So Doomskull kind of gets a shaft here, making him, in my opinion, one of the worst beasts of Series 10. Which, for such a landmark series, isn't something that you'd want to hear. Moving on to 29th place. 29th place is Petrock the Stone Warrior from Series 30. What makes Petrock, in my opinion, Series 31, sorry. What makes Petrock, in my opinion, at this point for a finale is that I do appreciate there's a kind of legend built around this beast, but then it's just a case of, okay, that seems interesting. And then it's executed in a way where it's understandable and can be good. But then my bias for Monkey Beast comes in, and I'm just like, no. Petrock, in my opinion, worst beast of Series 31, and doesn't really end Series 31 on a great note. Story-wise, I'm sure it does. But beast-wise, for me, it's just not that great. The Stone Fists as an ability I do appreciate, but everything else about Petrock I'm not a big fan of, and the fight was interesting. The Stone Fists are good. Anything else, not that great at all. Moving on to 28th place. 28th place is Corixa the Diamond Warrior from Series 18, Trial of Heroes. So, for me, Corixa has always been a beast which I know is a strong and powerful beast. There's also always been a beast that I'm not a big fan of. I've never really been overly fond of Corixa, and I actually do kind of take joy in her being defeated in Battle of the Beasts, both times in round 1, I believe. But for me, Corixa, not a fun beast to read or see. Abilities are okay, with one of them being similar to Solar Beam from Pokemon. The fight isn't that great though, and the design also is not really that fun, and actually makes Coldo look good. 27th place, we have Velacro the Lightning Bird from Series 28. Now, for me, Velacro is okay, really. With the multi-heads, as I said in the multi-heads video, Velacro is actually one of the better beasts with a second head. However, on a case format where we evaluate his comparisons when it comes to being able to go into smaller versions of himself and fly around everywhere, compare that to Solix, Larnak, Kreta, Devora, And I'm sure another beast which I'm forgetting about, Velocro is easily the worst beast that can do that ability. Therefore, making Velocro bad in one aspect but okay in another. Then you compare him in an actual book where all of it is kind of forgettable. You remember the whole Janus Birds creating portal thing that he can do? He or she. But ultimately, though, everything else is just forgettable, and you're more focused on getting to the end of this book so you can move on to the next series. In 26th place, representing Series 3, is Sting the Scorpion Man. And actually, for me, this is where we get into the beast that I actually kind of like. And for Series 3 to actually be done this early compared to the previous video I've done, I would say it's quite a good accomplishment, really. But really, though, Sting, in my opinion, is all right design and actually introduces one of the best premises in Beast Quest where human/animal turns into the beast. And it's done well here. We're quite a dark chapter in this book. However, the fight is so much missed potential where it's just like, hold on, is it really worth it? So Sting's hype was built up in such a dark chapter and executed very badly. And that is why Sting, in my opinion, is 26th place in this ranking. In 25th place, we have Farrar the Snow Phoenix. I adore my phoenixes, so that's why Farrar is even up this high. However, unique concept with the feathers being white rather than burnt orange. However, it doesn't sit right with me. I don't know why, but for me, Farrar is the worst of the Phoenix beasts. And whilst I do prefer Farrar over Spyros, ultimately though, whilst I like Farrar more, I think I'll go with Spyros more because of the abilities being slightly better. So yeah, fight is also quite forgettable, and actually it's more focused on Tom and Alina versus Kensa, and I believe Crymon being possessed. So it's more focused on that, and Farrar's just tacked on as the beast to hook the readers in, quickly brushed aside to focus on the finale. Missed potential and actually kind of disrespectful for Farrar, so I feel bad for her there. In 24th place, representing Series 11, is Tauron the Pounding Fury. Yeah, 24th place for you. Well, honestly, I'm surprised you made it that high, but it's just a centaur, which, yeah, I kind of like my centaurs. This one is the best one in my, actually no, second best in my opinion. With a double-edged sword, Wolverine claws and wings, good abilities. So yeah, that's why he's even up this high. But the design, I don't get the beard. I don't like the beard. And then the fight is also quite forgettable to the point where it's like, no. Yeah, so Tauron 24th place for the sole reason of his abilities being good. 23rd place is Stealth the Ghost Panther from Series 4. Now, Stealth, simple design, not the best design, don't get me wrong. However, the fight sets Stealth up to be so intimidating. And he is. And an ability with the tail like whips and the slash of the claws to turn his opponents evil. Fun. Really good. But ultimately though, everything else about Stealth is not that great. While Stealth, in my opinion, is the best piece of Series 4, with nothing else comparing to him, even slightly, in my opinion, Stealth is still kind of like, he's okay. In 23rd place, we have Bloodboar the Buried Doom from Series 8. Now, for me, Bloodboar has a fun concept, but compared to a beast which came after him with a similar concept, Bloodboar is just not as good, because the beast that came after him had that concept done better. Bloodboar had some missed potential there, but I think was also executed quite well. So he's a bit confusing for me. But ultimately, though, being one of the most intelligent beasts there are, and also one of the most powerful, great standards that weren't executed well. The fight was okay. The abilities are okay as well. And design is probably the weakest aspect, which can throw people off. But for a child, when I first saw this book, when I was a child, I was like, wow, this actually looks great. Let's read this. And I was like, okay, favourite book. But now that I'm older and I'm actually reading these books for kind of entertainment purposes now, just to post my opinion on them online, Blood Boar fell down a lot. But still, in my opinion, an alright finale, but not a great beast. In 21st place is Sorex the Silent Creeper from Series 17. Now, I do like Sorex. Sorex is my second favourite beast of Series 17. However, what drags him down a lot, though, is actually, I would say, it's mainly my fault. And that's actually because of his performances in Battle of the Beasts, where he died quite early in both tournaments he was in. But he does have some great abilities, a rather nice design, and a fight which is entertaining and kind of forgettable though. So yeah, Sorex is a hard one to rank. I want to like this beast, but I can't because of how much he just blends into the background. Ignore the pun, because I know he's a comedian. But he just blends into the background of all the other beasts here to where I barely notice him. In 20th place, we have Kamar, the Faceless Beast from Series 12. For me, Kamar is a good finale for Series 12. You know, one with very high stakes that weren't executed well. But as a beast, Kamar, the one that's meant to be the most ferocious of all the lightning beasts, is also very disappointing. Yeah, that's all I can really say. Kamar, in my opinion, good design, intriguing, sets up a lot of tension, thinking, oh, are we going to see this beast's face? And when we do, it's scary. But then the abilities are not that good. The weakness is kind of okay. But the fight felt rushed. And for me, I don't like a rushed fight. Hence, my opinion on Nanook. But for me, Kamar's fight felt rushed. Whilst it was more than one chapter long, it didn't feel like it. And I don't think the beast warrants being a finale beast of Series 12, when I personally think Kajin, Merca, or God forbid, Isrilla could have done better at being a finale. Kamar, I think, should have been a middle-of-the-road beast of Series 12. Was I do understand, the whole intrigue with her face, his face, it doesn't sit right with me. And yeah, for me, 20th place is the best I can give Kamar. The intrigue is there. I love what they were trying to do, but it didn't hit home for me. In 19th place, we have Trillian the Three-Headed Lion from Series 2. Easily the strongest beast of Series 2. And whilst, in my opinion, not my favourite, it's still one of the better beasts of Series 2, because there's a relatively low bar to get to be the best beast of Series 2. But for me, though, Trillian is, unlike Vipero, who was the first beast, Trillian is the second beast to bring in the multi-head gimmick. And this one actually made me excited for future beasts with a second head. As is a rare gimmick that rarely comes back, it's always a treat to see it. And Trillian made me and probably other people excited for extra heads on a beast. And yeah, that is the good thing about Trillian. You also got, great durability, but also it can be tested. It can be tested to the point where, hold on, is it really that good? The fight is fun. It's a good beast on beast fight as well, with Trillian and Tagus going at it, but Tagus is treated like a ragdoll in this one, to where Trillian is easily miles better. But other than that, though, that's all I can say about Trillian. 19th place is actually quite a good spot. But I wanted more for such a simple beast. Yeah, and Trillian, despite being the best of Series, one of the best of Series 2, is still quite simple. And for me, is nowhere near as good as Sultra. In 18th place, we have Diprox the Buzz and Terror from Series 25. Was, in my opinion, Diprox is probably going to be depicted as the weakest beast of Series 25, and I have depicted him to be the weakest Series 25. I want to see a moment where Diprox can come in and show her full strength. But with other bug beasts, Kreta has the gimmick of being able to deswarm and reswarm. Solix, same thing. Larnak, same thing. Amictus showing the capability of bug beasts. Vespic, my girl. I don't need to explain that one. But moving on to other bug beasts, they all have a gimmick which makes them special, especially the newer ones, might I add. But then Diprox comes in. And Diprox doesn't have that gimmick. She doesn't have anything which makes her special or stand out from the other insect beasts. And she kind of blends into the other insect beasts. And also blends into the finale beast because she's in the middle of the road, being 18th place. Fight felt rushed. The abilities are nothing special. And the design looks great and had so much potential. And I'm so upset she doesn't get that potential. If there's a book in Beast Quest that should be rewritten for the better to show the better side of a beast, I feel it needs to be Diprox. I feel Series 25 focused too much on the finale of, the whole Prison Kingdom of Vakonda. And they kind of shafted Diprox, which is kind of upsetting. Moving on to 17th place. In 17th place, we have the better version of Blood Boar being Quagos the Armoured Beetle from Series 15. Now, in my opinion, nowhere near as good as Wardok, but also still a great beast in my opinion. As I said, she had a similar concept to Blood Boar where she was rampaging through a city, but what makes her better, despite having similar abilities to Blood Boar, is that she bowed down to Tom when Tom came face to face with this beast, therefore turning the civilians of Tangala against our hero, which is done fantastically, might I add. And the abilities are what you'd expect, being some of Blood Boar's abilities, but also additional ones as well with the whole insects vibe. This is what I'm talking about with when I was talking about Diprox. Quagos has a gimmick where she is the rampaging beast going through the city. That's fun. The fight, yes, I can't remember much from it, but it's also quite a fun fight because that moment where she bows down to Tom is the part that I remember the most about it and what makes Quagos better than Diprox and Blood Boar at once. So yeah, for me, 17th place is quite a good spot for Quagos in my opinion. And before I pass out from talking so highly of Quagos, I'm going to move on to 16th place, which is Rykar the Firehound. Of course, Series 20 has quite a solid selection of beasts, starting out quite good with Zulok and ending better with Rykar in my opinion. Rykar is a dog-like beast, which I do have a bit of bias for. But I also like my fire beast as well, and Rykar being the combination of dog and fire, brilliant. Obviously, I'm going to like this beast. However, there's something missing from this beast to really shine and show the capabilities that this possibility can have. So Rykar, in my opinion, is not the best beast of Series 20. But he is still a great finale, in my opinion, and wraps up Malvo's return quite well and sets up Series 21 quite well as well. So Rykar's done his job as a storybook. However, as a beast, it's an alright fight, but it's kind of forgettable. The abilities are short, but also good at the same time. The design is probably the best aspect of Rykar, though, because I wouldn't say it's nightmare fuel, but it's quite intimidating at the same time. I feel like this is where the beast design started getting really scary. Try and scare the new readers. And yeah, I'd say Rykar did a good job. However, there are more scarier designs. Moving on to what I believe is 15th place. In 15th place, we have Zircon the Shapestealer from Series 23. Now, really though, as a beast, he's alright. But as a story, he's great. So that's why Lucas would have him high, whereas I probably wouldn't. But for me, middle of the road is quite a good spot for Zircon, with good abilities with, shape-shifting, wall crawling, those claws, and speech. Great beast, and very deceptive as well. One of the more intelligent beasts. The intelligent side to Cobra, myself and Lucas call him. And yeah, he's a fun beast as well. Design is okay, I guess, but we prefer his shape-shifting abilities. Like I said, his abilities are great, and his fight is also quite fun.
However, his achievements in Battle of the Beasts are low and probably almost zero as well. So, yeah, Zircon is not a great beast in that department because he died in round one in both tournaments he participated in. So, yeah, I can't really talk much about that one. So, with that, that's what's holding Zircon down from being a better beast. But, 15th place isn't that bad. Right, forgot to pause. 14th place, we have Selkara Monster of the Depths from Series 30. Honestly, in my opinion, Selkara is the strongest beast of Series 30 with, honestly, not much competition. But as a beast, beast design-wise, great. In my opinion, very intimidating. Abilities are what you'd expect and a bit boring then, but the fight is also quite fun as well. She goes on land, she can breathe up in land, so, good for her. But she also is able to put up a good fight despite being very slow on movement. But once she's in the water, she is fast and agile and strong and a threat, which makes Selkara a great finale in my opinion. And a nice wrap up to Series 30, which brings back the whole trope of human or animal transforming into something. Selkara does that perfectly. Well done, Selkara. Good job. Gold medal. Moving on to 13th place. 13th place is the beast which I refer to as the epitome of nightmare fuel, being Nursefer, the cursed siren from Series 22. Honestly, look at that face. That's terrifying. Okay, we're done. No, I'm joking. Design, fantastic, intimidating, and fun. Abilities with that red steel forged sword on her hand, as well as agility to swim and dedication to follow her opponents when they get off water, despite being a slow mover on land. Still a fantastic beast and dedicated as well. Fight is, okay, the fight felt a bit rushed, but it's made up for with Nursefer having a job, and that's defending the flying pirate ships of Makai for Rhea to, start her invasion of other realms. So, yeah, Nursefer has one of, if not the most important job of Makai. And, yeah, and also not having a great fight, but great design and abilities more than makes up for it. So, with that, moving on to, I think, the top 12 now. In 12th place, we have Chiron, Lord of Fire from Series 26. Now, I'm aware some people are not the biggest fan of this beast. Some say it's just average. For me, no, this is easily the best centaur beast there is because, those big, intimidating wings that you normally see on a dragon. It's fun to see on a centaur. But then you got Chiron with the whole Lord of Fire thing, infinite possibilities for what you can do with the fiery aspects. So creativity at an all-time high. That's probably why he's so high, because of the creative aspects I have in Battle of the Beast with him. Design is great, in my opinion. Abilities are fun and have lots of potential. The fight, the fight is a little bit boring, but I would say it's in a volcano, and with the lava slowly rising, it's similar to Fangs, where the arena is shrinking rapidly, which is fun to see. However, it's just not executed well. So for me, Series 26, with that finale, it's a good finale, worthy of 12th place, but I can't in good conscience put it any higher because I believe the other finales are better. Just missing out on the top 10, in 11th place we have Leipida, the Shadow Fiend of Series 21. Now, what makes Leipida great in my opinion is, like with any other bug beast, having a good gimmick. This time, every part of this beast is dangerous / deadly. And also having a very severe weakness to sunlight, like a moth does. So, what you expect from a moth-like beast. It's fun. I love her design. Very sleek, very simple, but also very intricate as well. Abilities are fun, dangerous, and great potential as well. The fight is also very fun to see as well. And that Malvel actually killed this beast, not Tom. Just so Malvel can execute his plan, I think was a great twist and making Leipida one of the better finales in my opinion. So for that, Leipida, fun beast, great one in my opinion. Probably wouldn't win in the fight against Chiron, probably wouldn't win in the fight against many finales really. But Leipida is still a fun beast, which I do have appreciation for. And I do wish I could have made it into the top 10, but I couldn't actually, in good conscience, put her in the top 10 because I prefer the other beasts more. In 10th place, we have Krokol, the Father of Fear from Series 24. So, really, this is the muscle of Koba. And yeah, Krokol has the strength which matches Koba, has the kingdom destructive powers, fun ability, great abilities, really. Expected though as well, but except for the goo where he can slow down his opponents. The design is fantastic, and you think you see some of the golden armor on there as well. But when you read the book, you find out it is Tom who was possessed, and his golden armor went black or silvery black, like it is on the cover. So yeah, that is the golden armor on Krokol. The fight is also incredible, with 2 fights in that book of Alina and Daltek versus Krokol's physical form, and Tom versus Krokol's mental form with the help of Tanner. It's incredible. A fantastic finale to Series 24, and kind of an outrage that is actually 10th place. But I do have my reasons, and that is because Krokol hasn't done great in Battle of the Beasts. So yeah, I need to put other beasts higher, and I do prefer the other 9 beasts more than Krokol. But fantastic beast, and worthy of being one of the best finales of Beast Quest in general. But for me, there are 9 more which are better. In 9th place, we have Gargantua the Silent Assassin from Series 27. In my opinion, Gargantua has a fantastic design, despite being very metallic, because, she is, but is simple but fun at the same time with the whole dragon's head thing. Very, very, very well done. And so her design is good, but it's also the weakest aspect of her. Her best aspect is her abilities. With being metallic, you're resistant to most attacks, so durability. But you also got borrowing, agility, and that pitchfork tail at the back, as well as sharp fangs, and constriction. Fantastic. But her best ability is her persuasion. So she is very deceptive, to where she can deceive other beasts or humans, promising them more power, but also corrupting them as well. This is a beast that you do not want to make a deal with. And you know what? It shows. And the fight. Oh my god. The fight is a fantastic fight. And what does it have? A beast on beast collision of Gargantua, the best beast of Series 27, versus the best beast of Series 1 being Epos the Flamebird. And it ends on such a great moment. If you can actually see me talking about this, I'm actually waving my arms around in astonishment with how incredible this beast is. It's a fantastic beast all around, and how great she did in Battle of the Beasts All Generations Tournament, despite not being in most of it. She has done incredible to make it to where she was, and she was killed before the top 10, but that's besides the point. Gargantua, fantastic beast in my opinion, and honestly, it's going to take a lot for a snake beast actually to top her, but there's probably a few snake-like beasts which have topped her, but as a fight, I doubt there's going to be any which can top this beast. In 8th place, we have Koba, Gord of the Shadows from Series 13. The combination of the brains of Zircon and the muscle of Krokol blended into one, and we get Koba, the big bad of the old generation series, and the one which everyone looks forward to reading because of the capabilities this beast has. Design-wise, it's an alright design. Good design, but the weakest aspect. Abilities. Oh, the abilities. You got transformation, so he could shapeshift as well. He can also change the arena around him, work the environment in his favour as well. The sharp nails, having the weapon/abilities of anything he transforms to. Also good. He's also very deceptive like Gargantua as well. And like with Gargantua, has the ability to possess people as well, making this series a very dark series as well, because he possessed Tom halfway through Series 13. And the fight goes through the entire book, which is done fantastically. Honestly, Cobra is one of the best finales in my opinion. And whilst personally as a beast, he's fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth place for me. Yeah, eighth place for me. That is still a good spot to land in for finales. I do have reasons why I prefer the other seven beasts more, but for me, Cobra is one of the best finales. And if I was to put all of these finales in a fight, I can see Cobra winning more than others. But that would be a tough thing to decide because I would need to actually think about it. But off the top of my head, Cobra would be in the top 5, definitely. In 7th place, we have Stritor the Skeleton Dragon. Now, this one would have been a little bit lower in the past if I've done this before Battle of the Beasts All Generation ended. But now, as I'm doing this after Battle of the Beasts All Generation has ended, I can safely say Stritor deserves 7th place because Stritor was the runner-up of that tournament. The tournament with 155 beasts in it, and Stritor got 2nd place. Fantastic. Great design, fantastic abilities, and a very good fight in the book and in the tournament. Honestly, Stritor, one of the best finales in my opinion, and I would say one of my favourite beasts of all time, really. But if I'm saying one of my favourite beasts of all time is Stritor, and he's 7th place in this ranking, that means the other 6 must be some of my favourites of all time, right? Well, you'll be right. Let's get into the final 6. In 6th place, we have Lucor the Forest Demon from series 29. One of, in my opinion, more simple finales of Beast Quest, but a great one at that. A very simple but fun design, and an excellent fights where Catcher was able to defeat Lucor, and Lucor eats Malvel. And as we haven't seen Malvel come back yet, for all we know, Lucor is the beast that killed Malvel, along with Furno, who did also kill Malvel. Lucor may have killed Malvel for good, but we don't know that for certain yet. We will find. I'm sure we'll find out eventually, but that depends when/if Malvel comes back. So yeah, fantastic beast. And the abilities, the abilities. Simple, but fun at the same time. You know, you can shoot beams from your eye, he can shoot beams from his eyes, and he can encase his victims in wood, which is a great ability. But his agility as well, his sharp claws and teeth can easily tackle down any opponents as well. And being able to trap his victims in wood just makes them immobilized, where he can defeat them as quickly as he likes or as painfully and slow as he likes. Lucor, you're a fantastic beast. I love this beast. But just missed out on the top 5 due to mainly nostalgic reasons. Moving on to the 5th place. In 5th place, we have Amictus the Bug Queen. For me, this beast started the whole trend of bug beasts. And Amictus does it fantastically. She sets such a high standard for bug beasts that only one has surpassed. With the scythe-like appendages, the camouflage, the agility, the flight, the defending of her young. Oh, fantastic beast. Design, great. Abilities, as I said, brilliant. And the fight, one you never forget. Honestly, Amictus is one of the best beasts of Series 5. Well, probably, in my opinion, the best beast of Series 5. But one of the best beasts of Series 5 to anyone's ranking. And if anyone actually doesn't like Amictus, I would love to hear your reason why, because this beast is so hard to dislike. So for me, I want to hear people's opinions on why Amictus isn't the best beast of Series 5 or why it's one of the worst. But I don't believe she is. Amictus, in my opinion, is the best beast of Series 5. A fantastic finale to such a great series. And honestly, I would say, one of the best finales, and could theoretically, if story basis was included, could be better than all the other finales, which I've yet to say. Moving on to 4th place. In 4th place, we have Epos the Flamebird. The finale to Series 1, a fantastic beast. And on the beast perspective, the reason why she's so high is because of how often she returns in future books. where she puts up great fights, defends Tom, helps Tom, and also sacrifices herself when fighting against Gargantua, an opponent that's too strong for her, but she still defeated him, but just defeated her by defeating herself in the process. Great beast, great fight, great abilities, everything about her is fantastic. And you know, I do like my Phoenix beasts, so that is also why she's up so high. In third place is, of course, 100% biased, being my girl, Vespic the Wasp Queen from Series 6. What can I say about Vespic? I loved this beast from when I first read it, and I've made that clear. Whilst my fondness for her has gone down over the years, and I have calmed down from it, it was reignited and brought back to full potential when she made it to the top 10 of the All Generation Tournament of Battle of the Beasts. And then I have to mention her fight in her book, where it's in the city. They go out into the courtyard of the city, take up to the sky, and it's a nice aerial sky battle where it's hard to tell who would win. It's such a fun fight with Vespic's insane agility, close-up fighting skills, you know, venomous wasp sting, and so much more. The design of Vespic is weirdly the weakest part of it, and it's still a fantastic design. I'm going to pass out with how hyper I am. I need to calm down for a moment. But I need to gush how great of a beast Vespic is, in my opinion. And, if there's any negatives to say about Vespic, honestly, I can't find any negatives about her. She is, in my opinion, one of, if not the best beast of Series 6. And definitely one of the more underrated finales, in my opinion. In second place is Carnivora the Winged Scavenger from Series 7. Honestly, in my opinion, Carnivora is one of the best beasts, full stop. With a very simple but fun and great design, with fun abilities as well. You know, flight, immunity to the cold, despite it not being her ideal environment, she's still immune to the cold. The heat breath, the claws, the agility, the durability, everything about her is fun. But the best part about her is her fights. The first fight in her book, Tom versus Carnivora, a fun fight where Tom eventually defeats Carnivora. Carnivora goes up into the sky to go back to a normal realm. And then we go into the second fight, where Carnivora and all the other beasts of Series 7 come together to help Tom and his friends overcome Malvel and free the kingdom of Tavania from the evil grip that he has a hold of them. Fantastic beast. And then we go to Battle of the Beast, where she's not a one-time semi-finalist, but a two-time semi-finalist. Well, actually, no. A one-time semi-finalist in the Old Generation Tournament and died in the top 10. So a quarter-finalist. So, you know, fantastic placements for those tournaments as well. Carnivora, fantastic beast. I absolutely love this beast. And the only beast that defeats her in this ranking is the beast that actually defeated her in the Old Generation Tournament and prevented her from moving on to the finals, which is, of course, Torpix, the Twisting Serpent of Series 9. So Torpix, we'll start off with the obvious, is the winner of the first ever tournament of Battle of the Beasts I've done on YouTube. So I do have a big attachment to this beast already. But then you have the design being such a nice shade of green, such a intimidating but nice looking design at the same time, with the burnt, fiery orange eyes, the nice emerald green going along Torpix's body. Even the underbelly looks great as well. And then you've got the abilities with the jet of acid coming out of his mouth. You got the whole agility, durability, constriction as well. Fantastic. And yes, simple abilities, but fun at the same time as well. And the fight is such a great fight. Torpix ate Malvel, and Malvel cut his way out from the inside, which took Torpix out of commission. But Torpix is able to come back and wipe the floor with Malvel very easily. Fantastic fight. And obviously in Battle of the Beast, being the winner, I don't need to explain how great his fights were there. But in my opinion, what makes Torpix the best finale is what we find out in this book about his job. that he's the guardian of the eternal flame, arguably the most important job of all the Beast Quest universe, and Torpix has it. And another thing to say about Torpix, Torpix is the only beast of Seraph. In Seraph, yes, we came across 6 beasts in Seraph, and only one of them was an actual beast, and that is Torpix. With Torpix being the only beast in Seraph and being the guardian of the eternal flame, he does technically have a second job of protecting Seraph from evil. And when he sensed evil in Seraph, his first goal, protects the most important thing of Seraph. So you know what, Torpix, fantastic beast, definitely the best finale in my opinion, and one of my favourite beasts of all time as well. So with that, let's cut back to me so we could do the outro.
And with that, we're now at the end of the video. What a fun video this was, and quite frankly, I think I got a bit too energetic there. If we were actually having the camera on me whilst I was talking about each of these beasts, I was stood up right in front of this desk that my phone is on right now, which I'm recording with. Hi. I was just walking around and going like, oh my god, this beast is fantastic. And I've been doing that since probably... Yeah, I've been doing that since I got to Diprox. Probably a bit further back. I was just walking around this little area and just gushing about how great these beasts are. If I find someone who talks about beasts of Beast Quest like I do, honestly, I would love to talk to you and do a collab where we're just walking around a little area gushing about how great these beasts are. Now, I know the chance of seeing that is very unlikely, but oh my gosh, these beasts are incredible. And it was great to actually talk about them. So with that, I may have other videos which I'll release before Christmas. And if I do, then yeah, I will. But if I don't, then my next video will be released on Christmas Day, which I have already uploaded, but I won't publicize it or release it until Christmas Day. So don't worry about that. But with that, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell down in the corner below. If you have any other ideas for me to rank on Beast Quest, please leave in the comments below what it says. I will be more than happy to do it. If I can't do the list, then I won't do it, but I will let you know if I can't do it. But with that, till then, peace out.